In the name of New Year's resolutions, I thought this video would be a great opportunity to figure out what hair-olutions you want to bring into 2024. So in this video, we'll talk about which hair-hurting habits you should leave in 2023, the most valuable good hair habits that you can bring into next year, and my number one tip to get the best hair of your life in 2024. So this time of year, I'm sure your hair's been put through the ringer a little bit with the run up to Christmas and New Year. All throughout December, we're typically doing more with our hair, seeing as our lives are a bit more social than perhaps they normally are. So when it comes to heat styling and maybe missing out on that heat protector, skipping those treatments, all of those things are absolutely going to have fallen by the wayside during December. Now we're heading into the new year, let's commit to leaving some of those habits in 2023. So when it comes to the overuse of heat, that's a big one, and that's possibly one of the more damaging things you can do to your hair at home. And as you may have seen in a previous video, reheat styling hair that's already been heat styled, as opposed to washing it and restyling it that way, is far more damaging than simply resetting your hair with a shampoo and conditioner. Now, I'm sure you've been spending more time topping up your hairstyles each day as we go through this more social period, but let's leave that habit of restyling already heat styled hair in this year. Let's bring in better habits for next year. How many times have you intended to do some kind of conditioning mask or treatment and then just decided that you didn't want to prioritize it? Or some of you maybe even skip conditioner completely. That's another one. Let's leave that in this year. No more skipping conditioner. You really need to use conditioner after you shampoo your hair to smooth the cuticle, to return the hair back to its best pH, and to therefore protect your hair from whatever you're going to do to it afterwards. Are you guilty of skipping hair appointments? Now, visits to the salon are not just about changing your look, they're also about resetting things. So trimming the ends off is going to reset any potential split ends. Having that professional shampoo and conditioner is going to make sure that your hair has been really properly cleaned, and you're going to have treatments and masks, and that allows us as the hairstylist to really reset the condition of your hair for the next few weeks or months, depending on how long you go between visits. One of the things I'd like to see is a commitment for no longer ever than 3 months without taking a salon visit, no matter what your hairstyle's like. So what other good hair habits should we bring into 2024? One of the most valuable, of course, when it comes to heat styling is the commitment to use a heat protector every single time you heat style your hair. Now, the best heat protector is the one that you can use a lot of. So when I see heat protectors in the form of creams or oils, I'm always a little bit hesitant to recommend those as the sole heat protection option, because you can't use very much physical product without making your hair lank or greasy. My favorite heat protectors are the ones that typically come in a watery texture that you can spray through the hair, so you can use a lot of them. The more products you can use, the more heat protection you're going to get. One of my absolute favorites is from a brand called Evo. It's called Icon Welder, and you can use that on wet or dry hair, no matter what you need to heat style your hair with. Of course, never use direct heat on your hair if your hair feels damp to touch, even if it's damp from heat protector. So if you do apply a lot of product, do leave it to air dry for a few seconds or blast it with the cold shot on your hairdryer. The next good hair habit we can think about is doing weekly treatments of some kind. Now, these will vary a bit depending on your hair's needs. Some of you with thicker, coarser, drier hair textures need to use moisturizing, more supple kind of ingredients, and that's going to make your hair feel soft and silky. Whereas those of you with finer or bleached hair may benefit more from products like Olaplex, which relink the disulfide bonds, or more protein-based treatments that are going to build up those peptide chains which give your hair its strength. Either way, once a week is a really good habit to get into. On those weeks where you have a bit more free time, maybe do it twice. If you are busy and you haven't got time to do it once, never let it go less than once a fortnight. Now, it's important to note here that of course this varies depending on how often you wash your hair. Sometimes what's more valuable is to think, I'll do a treatment every third shampoo. That way, no matter how often you're washing your hair, you're still getting that consistency of those treatments. And the third good habit is let's make sure those salon appointments are consistent. One of the most helpful things that you can do if you're on a long-term hair health journey is reschedule your future hair appointment before you leave your current appointment. That way you can set yourself an expectation of how many weeks is appropriate to leave between your visits to keep things really reset and checked in upon. So I thought I'd leave you with my number one best tip for getting the best hair of your life. Now, this is really simple and works for everyone, and it's more of a concept. It's about balancing your processes. So what I mean by that is, if you think about the things that you do to your hair, you've got a column of things that aren't so good, that maybe cause your hair to be damaged or dry out or fade the color more quickly. And then you've got a column of things that you do that are good for your hair, like maybe air drying your hair once in a while, using great products, visiting the salon, doing your treatments. So this is about balancing those processes. If you go through a period of time during 2024 where you're styling your hair more, coloring it more, make sure you're balancing that with more of the good stuff as well. And if you keep that balance consistent, you will always have healthy, happy hair.